Hi pals, John here with the LensPal, and today we're going to take a look at two very special items, the Fujifilm GFX 100S and GF 110 lens. Let's get into it. This is an incredible, special beast of a camera. It is hand-sized, feels good in the hand. It is technically it's a 102 megapixel camera, but GFX 102S doesn't have quite the same ring to it as GFX 100S, and it is able to get that many pixels in because, I'm going to try and catch that in the light, it has this absolutely huge sensor on it. It's actually 70 times larger than a full frame sensor. This is the next step up from full frame. Medium format, large format, whatever you want to call it, this is it right here. What is a camera without a lens? So we got in probably the best portrait lens in existence right now. This is the GF 110mm f2R LMWR lens. Now basically that means it's Fujifilm's top of the line lens. It is a prime lens at 110 millimeters, but when you consider the crop factor, which is 0.71, it's more like an 85 mil, which is perfect. It's right at that portrait length, and that f2 is more like f1.2. So it is much like the 85 1.2s that Canon has, that Sony's about to release any day now, that I believe Nikon is working towards for their Z-mount system. But yeah, it's a fantastic lens, and it renders all of those 102 megapixels absolutely beautifully. It is quite the special setup, this. Much like modern Sony lenses, modern G Master lenses, I'm thinking the 50mm 1.2, the 35 1.4, even the recent zooms that they've come out with, the 70-200 version 2 and 24-70 version 2. This has a manual aperture ring on it. It's right here on the lens, which personally I love. It's kind of the style of camera and lens that I grew up with, that I learned on. So we can go f2 all the way up to f22, and then you have two additional settings here. Now I can't go into them without pressing this little button that's on the barrel of the lens there. A is automatic. This is, if you it's kind of like the reverse of aperture priority mode. It's going to basically tell the camera that you want it to adjust the aperture automatically. And then there is C, which is camera controlled. So what this allows you to do is, instead of using the ring to control the aperture, you can actually use one of the front dials here to control the aperture, if that is your preference. For me, I'm going to pop it back over here, and there we go. Now back to the camera. We have a flippy out screen, which actually will tilt as well. So if you're shooting portraits that are lower, if you are shooting above you, you've got it all covered as well. You have your autofocus style here. It's a little selector on it, continuous, single, and manual autofocus. You've got a couple of different dials to control things. Being a mirrorless camera, of course, you can go in and customize the dials to your heart's content, and you have this nice switch here that takes you from stills over to movie mode and back again. Now movie mode, you're going to get 4K 60. You hook this up to Ninja V, you're going to get raw output on this as well. It is absolutely fantastic footage to work with. It's really easy to color grade. But honestly, one of the things that attracts people to Fujifilm, other than the fact that it's medium format system is that the cameras come with a number of built-in, they call them film simulations. Picture profiles is Sony's term, Canon has another word for it. Because Fujifilm used to make film stock way back when, and they still do, let's be fair, they're actually able to recreate the look of several of their classic film stocks right in the camera, whether it's Provia, Velviva, Astia, Classic Chrome, Pronegs, Eterna, Acros, and you've got monochrome options, you've got sepia options. You just have a whole bunch of different ways that you can basically color grade the image right in the file. Now, obviously, if you're shooting photos, it's not going to impact the raw file at all. You know, the raw file is still the raw file, but the JPEG is going to come out looking almost like nothing else, basically. There's something about Fujifilm files that just makes them absolutely sort of sing straight out of the camera. Now, this also has in-body image stabilization, IBIS, and with that you can actually do the pixel shift, really large picture files. You can actually create 400 megapixel image using 16 images, all with the sensor shifted around just a little bit in various movements. It doesn't do it in camera because obviously that requires a fair bit of processing power, but there is a free app you can get from Fujifilm, and they will stitch the images through that as well. Obviously it's best to use a really fast SD card and a tripod. I am super excited to have this in. I don't know if that has come across, but yeah, if you are a portrait photographer, if you're a product photographer, you have to give this a try. If you don't try this, you're doing yourself a disservice, because it is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah? Fujifilm GFX 100S and GF 110 F2R LMWR. If you've enjoyed this video, if you have found it helpful or informative, please consider giving us a like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, smash a bell. And until next time, I've got a new toy to play with.